Hey, I just wanted to show you a quick video of how and why I redesigned my website, what steps I took, what templates I used, and what you could look out for if you're redesigning your own. It's being made by Squarespace. So before I start telling you how I designed my website, I just wanted to show you the end result, just so you have a little bit of an idea of how it looks, and maybe serve as a little bit of inspiration to you. So I knew I wanted my homepage to have basically everything at one glance. I wanted to show my portfolio, my client portfolio, and of course my shop. Since it's a mix of people that come to my website, I wanted to have a balance. I want people that search for my shop not to be overwhelmed by, come work with me. I also wanted businesses not to be overwhelmed by, please buy my stuff. So what I did is to try make it as personal as possible by adding the video on top, making a personal logo, and basically just a lot of photos of everything that I do because it works for the shop and it also works for the portfolio. I specifically made a portfolio with personal work and I made a client portfolio to show different projects and what clients I've worked with. And also to go a little bit more in depth about the project instead of just showing pictures. And of course I added a little YouTube section because that's my newest project. I wanted to revamp my website because I've had my old one for about 2 years now. I was happy with the design, but I just wasn't happy with the possibilities the shop option gave me. The old template I used was version 7.0 and the new one I upgraded to is 7.1 and you have a little bit more possibilities there. So if you're watching this video and you want to make your own website, just keep that in mind. I wanted to be able to promote new products and not necessarily revamp my whole website or have to use pop-ups or anything because I want to use my pop-ups just for my newsletter. In the new website I was actually able to create blocks, product blocks on top of the shop, which gives me the possibility to promote certain products or even like I did now, direct people to my original catalog. And that's a separate file that I can direct people to that I can change whenever I want to. So that was for me definitely a big yes to upgrading to the new website. So first thing you do when you want to upgrade to a new website is check which one you're on, how much time you have left on your current subscription, or if you're a new one, just go for the new option. There was just a little bit of a hassle, I think, from upgrading to 7.0 to 7.1 because I had to cancel my old subscription and make a separate page. So I had to pay it again and then wait for the refund. And the site, I think, of Squarespace was quite unclear about that, since it said you're kind of getting into a loop. Like on the website they say you get a refund, and once you click on the link to get a refund, it says you can't get a refund. So don't listen to that. You just have to check if you really do get one. And I did that by just emailing the customer service. They're super quick. And they said like, yes, of course you will. Just cancel your current subscription first and then start a new website and pay for that one and then we'll refund you everything. So you have a 14-day trial, and in that time I actually made my website, and at some point I was like, you know, this is gonna be it. So I'm canceling the other one, upgrading the next one, because you just have a little bit more possibilities once you upgrade to the paid subscription. So just that technical part aside, that was a bit of a hassle. Could have been easier, I think, but I really like the way you can design your website with Squarespace. For me, it's the easiest way since I'm not into coding or anything, and I just want to I just want to change the look and see exactly what's changing once I'm doing it. So that was really, for me, that's an easy one. There's also, for example, Shopify. That's more for just web shops, and I also have a portfolio page. So I think there's a way to make a portfolio page there as well and make it more of a mix. But for me, I've been with the other company for 2 years already now, so might as well stay. Oh, and one more thing. The nice thing with the refund was that actually the subscription became cheaper. So I got a refund for about half a year left on my old subscription, which was I think 24 euros a month, and you pay it yearly. And then I got the new subscription, and that was 21 euros a month. So I actually I actually got a cheaper deal, a better deal. And also because it was a new subscription, I could use a discount. There's loads of 10% discounts online. I think like every video that's been sponsored by Squarespace has like a 10% discount on it. But I actually found one on their own site with a 20% discount. So, I mean, the charges are quite a lot, so it adds up. So definitely check the discount before you start your paid subscription. Okay, so let me talk you through it. Just a quick disclaimer before, there is a little bit of a glitchy effect, probably because my computer couldn't handle QuickTime and Squarespace website building at the same time, because it's a really heavy program. At some point my laptop didn't like it either. So if you see the glitches, I'm sorry, I couldn't help it, but yeah. So the first thing you do is go into edit mode. For the header of the page, I added an image segment and then I changed it to a video. There's a 30-minute maximum of what you can upload to Squarespace, but then again, it's just a header video. It shouldn't last more than a minute anyway. All my other videos I posted to YouTube, so you can link a YouTube link and then it uploads the video. Any block you add, you can change in size and in width. Also, color-wise, you can change basically anything. I'll go into that a little bit later, but yeah, you can. It's pretty endless. Now for the text, I added a text block, and there I just changed the background to my yellow theme. I added a little link below, and it underlines links automatically. So once you link a page to it, it gets the line underneath. And then I changed the font sizing to heading 1. And again, you can change anything about the fonts and the sizing and whatever. Oh, and don't forget to click on apply, because I kept doing it wrong and losing my links all the time. Now for the gallery, I chose the masonry gallery, and I like that one because it gives a little bit of playfulness to the gallery instead of just being straight images next to each other. I removed the spacing between the columns. It's because I like the look more. Then after you're done, you can just add all your images to your gallery and it works its magic automatically. And a really important thing for me was the shop block. And I did that by just adding some images next to each other and replacing the images with product block. Just a note about the blocks. It took me a long time to find out there was actually a plus sign above the images where you could add product blocks instead of whole sections of images. So if you're looking for something super specific, it's probably at the plus sign. Then for the product blocks to work, you do have to have a product in your shop. So make sure you do that first. Even though it's just one, you can just duplicate it and replace it with something else later. You just look up the product and it automatically fills in all the information. Another thing I wanted the shop block to have was a list of links to prints, originals, and other drawings. So I added that in the same way I added the portfolio link. Then I added a general shop button below that list. Now, as I said in the beginning, there are tons of color options in Squarespace. To make it a little bit easier, as soon as you click on the element you want to change, you get the option to change that element's color. Now for the next block, I wanted to have a slideshow because I had some different aspects of my job that I didn't necessarily have a category for. And also I didn't want to clutter my menu with more buttons. So in this case, I actually made a list and I changed the list to a banner slideshow. From there, I changed the width of the slideshow to the whole width of the page. And then I just filled in all the details and it was done. Something I wanted to mention is specifically if you use photos from someone else, credit them and ask permission if you can use those photos because they belong to someone else. So most photos on my own website are mine, but sometimes there are photos that are not mine, and I want to specifically mention to ask permission to use photos from someone else. Credit them as well. Because they're also artists like you, they're photographers. And if they don't want you to use their photo, you have to take them down in the least, and maybe you even have to pay them money because you're using their photo and you didn't ask permission. So extra mention, definitely ask permission to use photos. Okay, so now the most important part for me, actually the reason I redesigned my website at all, the shop section. Now I made a pretty basic shop. I just have products next to each other. I didn't bother with like different sizes or whatever. I think you can do that, but for me, no. I mean, it needs to be fun, right? So there is a link to manage your items and your inventory, and also to change the order the products are in. It took me long enough to find out, so hope this helps someone. Other things you can do is change the amount of rows and the width of the images. And also check the aspect ratio for your images, because for me the 3/4 vertical aspect ratio works, but maybe for your products it's different. And color-wise, I just decided to keep it white and black, so that all attention goes to the products themselves. Now, the whole reason I wanted to change my shop was because I could make some sort of announcement on top, and that's what I did with the headline you just saw me add. I added an image to it and I changed the background width to inset instead of full. That's how you have the space around it. Now, if we head into the product detail page where you come once you click on a product, I made different product photos, which is a whole different topic, but you can see like a little segment of that here. And then there's one thing that you really need to pay attention to, and that is the mobile function. I know that most of my buyers come from mobile. You can actually check that in the analytics from your Squarespace if you have the cookies enabled. And since the shop is so important, since that actually brings the money in, you definitely have to check if the photos come out right, if the text looks right. And for me, the only way that happened with these kind of products was if I changed the layout to simple. I actually preferred one of the other ones, but somehow the mobile function wasn't working. And there's another thing that I really wanted to add, and that was to link to the originals or to the prints in the description. And I wasn't able to do that in version 7.0. So as you can see here, the original is linked in the print description, and that's also true the other way around. That way you have basically everything covered. If someone is interested in the print, they might even be interested in the original, and the other way around. So I just want to make it easier for the customer to find everything, and so they don't have to search for that stuff themselves. And hopefully, of course, they'll buy something. One more thing I actually noticed while I was making this website is if you go into your commerce settings, in the tab checkout, there's an option to calculate the shipping based in a country of your choice. And dumb enough, that setting has been set to the United States for me for 2 years. That is the most expensive shipping option that I have. and somehow I couldn't figure out where it was, and now I was redesigning it and I was like, oh my god, it's here. So just another tip for you if you didn't know already. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you. Maybe it opened your eyes to some new possibilities that you can use. If this motivated you to build your own website, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe to see more of my art journey. And thank you. See you next time.